Tuesdays with Ted Monday edition. How's that sound? We're doing a special edition. So I was supposed to be flying to New York tomorrow, but COVID changed that plan for me.
Shame.
But I want to welcome Lorrie Morgan, who, gosh, we've been friends forever. Back when you were just a beginning copywriter.
I was trying to remember which event we met at. I'm positive that my sidekick Allie Brown was with me, but I don't remember which. Was it a Dan Kennedy event? Do you remember?
Yeah, there was a bunch of Dan Kennedy events we were going to. They were in Chicago by the airport.
Yes.
I went to probably 4 or 5 years in a row of those things, and that was when we were just little babies in this industry.
The whole industry was in infancy at that point. Everything was starting. It's the early 2000s. I mean, look at this. We never would have been able to do a stream like this because remember the bandwidth that you'd have to have DSL and some major serious stuff. And now, boom, it's really great.
It's awesome.
Hey, Dan. Hey,
you guys. All here.
Right on.
So we're going to talk about, I've been doing this. I'm not a copywriter, but I've invested in so many copywriting courses. I did the simple writing system. The first one I did was like no coach. It was all just videos. And I've taken, my last time I took it, John Carlton was my coach.
Whoa.
And he kicked my butt.
That's why I'm as good as that's what he does. He kicks booty. He takes it seriously. He doesn't let you off the hook at all.
I did my homework. I posted it and he says, no, you can do better. And I would do it like 4 or 5 more times. And I was like, oh my God, this is so much better.
It is. Right? It's worth it. But you just sometimes need somebody in there holding your hand, kicking your tush, getting you going. Because you don't know what
for me, it's not to become a better copywriter. I'm not a copywriter by trade, but I'm a better writer because I learned copywriting.
Right. And we all see. It's funny to me. I know you're not a cop. I guess because you've taken it so seriously ever since I've skill set that I kind of think of you as a copywriter because you're a copy, and that's really important to know if your meta point or if you're getting ideas across that you want, and it's important.
What did you do? How did you become a copywriter? I never really heard that story.
You don't know my story of how I did it? Well, I did it by accident. I mean, most copywriters I know, at least from way back then, the 2000s, the early, when the internet was kind of just getting to be the internet, most of us found it by accident because we didn't know copywriting really was a trade. And, it's you see it all the time, but oh my God, people get paid to do that. Then you like go that together. So I have a journalism degree. So I've always written to a degree, but journalism is, it's much different. I don't think there is any journalism anymore today, but it's the inverted pyramid, and you start off with the bang, and then you add all the details at the bottom. And this was like, well, let me back up a little bit. So I was working in corporate America, actually, and I had 2 kids. I was divorced. And so I was working as an executive assistant. And then this was in Columbine happened. And I wasn't with my kids. And I was like, oh my, I need to be able to be home with my children. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. That year, my boss retired. And so I decided the internet makes things different. Like, you don't have to be in the same office. Figured somehow I have a writing degree. I'm going to figure out how to write from home. Marketing myself as a virtual assistant and but I just released it. I did kind of copy content stuff for people without was. Then this guy who was a Dan Kennedy student hired to write a 52 autoresponder series. And I'm like, oh, what is an autoresponder? And that was like my first dip my toe. Whoa, there's a whole world of this. So he introduced me to work, and most of all, Gary Halbert. I am not worthy. Gary Halbert is my all-time fangirl crush, and through him, of course, John Carlton, because they were buds. and also an amazing, I'm fangirl over John too. But I started studying their stuff, and then I floundered. I still had clients and stuff. I wanted to hire John because he made this pitch to hire him as your coach, and I'm like, oh, it's so much money though. And so I hesitated for a while, and then I talked with him, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I want to be one of your mentees. When things started taking off, because it made all the difference. And writing in a vacuum, I thought my stuff was good, but then when you see how John improves it, it's like, oh, that's a whole nother world. And you don't know what you don't know. So that's how it started. And then it just kind of, ballooned from there. I met other people at events. That was how I got work. It's not really like that anymore. It's kind of hard with COVID and everything. Everything's turned upside down. So my work models, or how I started, is very different than how people get work today.
I think going to those conferences makes a huge difference too, because you meet people face to face. Yeah, Allie Brown was the easing queen when I met her.
She was the easing queen. She's probably embarrassed about that now, but she shouldn't be. I'm actually going to her event next month. Iconic. Now she mentors women who make 7 to 8 figures a year. Like, wow. That's right. She's a business coach, and she's like, easing peasing. I don't do those.
Right, exactly. But she had it on the back of her car. I remember pictures.
Right. I had a Red Hot Copy license plate. I'm very proud of how I branded that, because people don't always know my name, but they know my business. For some reason, Red Hot Copy really sticks. So that's really cool.
Oh, it's great. It's really good.
It's a bit of an accident, to be honest.
Right. Gosh, we got a lot of people on the call here. This is awesome. So
very cool.
Questions, definitely put them in the chat. But
that's right. I'm trying not to read the chat, just so you know, because it gets too distracted. And anything cool, let me know if there's something I'm missing, because I probably am.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll get to it.
Right on. Yes, cool. So that's how it kind of got started. I have to say, John was what took me from being like a decent writer to like a really good writer. And then, of course, over time, where I am now.
And it's about doing it every day and getting feedback.
That's right. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Like it's a slight tangent. It's a parallel tangent. But right now, I'm taking riding lessons. I've been riding horses for decades, but I got bucked off my horse earlier this year, and it terrified me, and I got major PTSD. And I never want, but I hired a trainer who worked with my horse and got his head, and then he started working with me, and I was like, I cried when I had to get in the saddle. No, I don't want to do this. And so we went little by little. So at 5:30 every morning, I leave my house to go run every single day, except the weekends. And I've become so much better just because I'm immersed in it. And you make little micro progressions every day when you do it back to back to back. And you have somebody there to go like, no, you don't do it like that. You do it like this. And so you make corrections, and pretty soon you're good. And copy is kind of the same way. I mean, most skills are like that. You have to really keep at them.
In copywriting, gosh, the first class I took, it was more about the little colors you put on highlighting words, and it had nothing to do with the content.
It's true. I mean, hey, formatting does make a difference too. Yeah, you got to have the words, the messaging right. Oh my gosh, your email today was amazing about how you get into the avatar, how you talk to your client, your perfect client. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know it was about our call. I was just reading it, and I was like, this is so good. It's exactly what I do too.
Well, I'm kind of going through my business change. I'm kind of took some time off, and now I'm coming back. And it's like, who am I working with? Because the things we did in 2019 are not relevant a lot of times now.
I know. And that wasn't that long ago, but it's just, the world just got turned completely upside down. The things are different.
So we need to look at who we're working with and what problems they're having now. I mean, I'm really going through it. It's like, boy, there's a lot of new problems people aren't addressing right now because they don't even know it's a problem for their business.
Right, because this is like uncovered ground, uncharted territory, isn't it? I mean, yeah, for sure.
Like I was just talking to a guy, he's a cybersecurity consultant, but if you're working with like Target or a huge big company, they will not work with small companies unless they pass security audits.
Oh, interesting.
Because that's how they break into networks now, through the small portals of a small company that's not up to speed. So there's a huge shift there. So this is going on everywhere.
I didn't even realize that. It doesn't surprise me, but I hadn't thought of that.
So we need to start looking at who we're doing business with and like what problems are there right now. So you could write copy about that. Like,
right. Yeah, for sure. But you have to know who it is, who you're talking to, and you have to really get inside their head. But what you were saying today was, you know, you had this list of questions and stuff like, what kind of car do they drive and what kind of income do they have? But stuff that you wouldn't think is that important, but it all speaks to their lifestyle and how they make their decisions. You know, what kind of entertainment do they do? Like for us, we like watch a movie on Netflix mostly, but because everything's so far away. But you know, there's just so, do people still take vacations? I'm starting to, I think, but do they have disposable income for that kind of thing?
You told a story, I don't know, a month or so ago about you driving to see your horse. When you drove your Audi and you'd wave at your neighbors, they would ignore you. But if you drove a pickup truck, they're like, hey.
Exactly. That happened today. I drove the truck today and everyone's like, hey. But when I drive my sports car, they're like,
Right.
Yep, because I don't fit in. I ain't from around here when I got a sports car.
Right.
But yeah, you got to know who your people are.
So how do you research, like if you have a new client, or like how do you do the market research these days?
Well, let me think.
We don't have enough time for the whole story, probably.
No, definitely. I don't. To think of an example of somebody I've done recently, so I could just kind of watch. I mean, there's so much at our fingertips, you know, as far as, and Google alone. I do the typical stuff of follow the trail through all the social media and seeing what they post, things like that. Editors, who else is in that marketplace? Look at who there are, especially if it's an industry that I'm familiar with. So I can look connections that they have with other people, sign up for their newsletter, look at their past copy. This is the site, you guys probably know it, Wayback Machine, where you can, I think it's .org, Wayback Machine, and you can just go back and see how people have changed. Businesses have marketed themselves differently over the years and stuff like that. I will get on the phone with somebody, you know, and talk to them about their business and their story. I'm really big on storytelling. So I like to find out what the origin story is of that business and why they went into that business. Because usually entrepreneurs don't start off with one business and stick with it. We have a lot of changes and shifts, like you, even if this is your same business, but you're pivoting a little bit as you're changing what you're willing to do and things like that. So it changes, but I mean, like, this is probably a new origin story. Ted is not everybody's beck and call, is because Ted wants to enjoy his family and grandchildren, and that's relatable to, you know, to a segment of people.
Right. David says you can look at comments on related YouTube videos. That's a good way to see what's current.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great way to do it. And it's fun. It's funny. I find that you in particular is a little more, they're a little more rabid fans of videos. And I may be speaking out of turn because like my partner is big in firearms. He's always loved firearms. And so he's on these sites that are, you know, constantly like these forums and these different sites that have all these comments, and people are, they really are passionate. It's probably golf is the same way. You know, there's a lot of different areas that are that same way. But I think that YouTubers, it's a commitment to sit in front of a video and to watch something and listen to something and be completely absorbed in there. So they do seem to be more detailed, I guess, in their comments.
Yeah,
So
they'll definitely do that. Then some people want to watch TikTok and watch a 30-second video.
True. That's true. I gotta be honest, I don't get TikTok. I have an account, but I have not got my head around, and maybe it's because my age group, although I hear that to shift more toward business, you know, older people. So no other way to say it.
No, I just don't want to go there. Another thing to learn, another thing that's going to go away in a few years.
Right. Like Clubhouse was so big for like 2 months, and now I should probably just take it off my phone. I'm never there.
Right. I guess some people still go there, but it's a small audience. But LinkedIn has a version of that now called audio.
Oh, no way. I didn't even know that.
I've never seen anybody do one, but they keep popping up these messages.
Well, it might catch on. I don't know. It's hard to say. It really is.
We're pretty distracted as it is. We don't need more things to distract us.
I feel like that too. I want to zone in more instead of like pulling in more social media, different social media. And I know it's common.
Right. Yeah, you got people that hate Facebook now. You know, there's just so much. But if you can engage with people, get them on your email list. That's what I always teach. I get them on your email list. Then if Facebook changes or LinkedIn changes, you've got a way to communicate with them.
I'm the same way. And it's, you have more time to build your relationship with them. It's funny. We're reading about my driving experience. You know, a lot of people have written to me about different articles or whatever, different e-zines. I don't know. Are they still called e-zines? I don't newsletter. I don't know. Right?
Not even newsletters. People don't want to go to newsletter even more. I don't know what you call it.
I hate calling it my list. I guess it's an email. I just send an email. I hate calling it my list because it seems so impersonal, and I feel like it's more of a community, and I like back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
When people write to me, I try to encourage just, you know, asking questions. Genuinely, I answer them all myself. I don't get a ton of mail, so when I do get it, I'm like, oh boy, somebody's actually reading asking me questions.
Right. That's what I learned from Laura Belgray. It's not about open rates and click-throughs. It's more about how many people replied to your email. Right.
Organic stuff. That's right. I totally agree. Yeah. I love Laura's stuff. She's got a great style. She's one of my favorites to read. Laura, I've become a recent Daniel Foster fan.
Yeah.
Read Daniel. Ben Settle. I don't read Ben as much. I like Daniel's stuff. I don't know. I guess it's newer to me. So he's one of my, and Bill Mueller. M-U-E, Mueller. He's also got some. I keep saving all his emails in my swipe file. Like, this is good. It's great.
I know. I've got like a million.
Do you do that? Do you save your swipes?
Yeah.
Your emails.
I just go through. I don't copy them. It's more about I'm going to write an email today. Let me see what other people are talking about.
Me too.
And stuff just comes to you. So tell me about the simple writing system. Like, what's involved with the simple writing system? It's not just a copywriting course. It's a writing course in a way.
Yeah. You know what? We've changed. I say we, you know, John Carlton is sort of on a sabbatical right now. So he's been doing the guru thing for decades. And he's like, oh, the hell with this. I'm going to do nothing. And so he said, in May, I'm backing away. Don't ask me to do anything. Not interested. And then Stan, who is his business partner, was like, yeah, but wait, what if we did like a deeper dive into the simple writing system? Would you be interested in like maybe kind of coming back and being on some of these calls and having interaction with some of the students? And he couldn't stay away, and he said yes. So he actually will come on some of the calls. But I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm so excited about that because it's like I got John Carlton to like kind of cut a sabbatical because he's excited about something. So that's cool. But what we did was decided that it'd be what was missing from the simple writing before is it's like an online coaching program, materials, get DVDs of John Carlton doing his thing. If you, I have to joke about his delivery style though, because he's the driest. He teaches so dry, and yet when you see him in person, he's hilarious. He's so funny, but as soon as you put a camera on him, he's like this. And so it's kind of funny, but it's great material, and you can watch it over and over again. So you go through the simple writing system. Usually takes people 2 to 3, sometimes 4 months, and you go through it and you get feedback from me or whoever the copywriting coach is at the time. And it's me this time, by the way. and you work on whatever product you want, and you go from like a blank page to learning each chunk of a sales letter until ultimately you write a full-on sales letter. And then, you're done, like, ta-ta, that's great, bye. But I felt like what it was missing was more interaction with not just in a forum, typing up answers, which is great too, but some video feedback where I could actually answer people's questions, and also people who want to be copywriters or freelancers of any kind to start their business. So John has a course called, I don't remember what it's called now. It's about how to start it's a very basic title about how to run your copywriting business.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I also have a course that I did with Dan Kennedy about how to start your copywriting business, how to negotiate fees, how to write contracts. What happened was Dan and I did this course. Oh my gosh, I can't remember when, 2006, I think. But it was, we co-owned it, and I just really never marketed it very well. I just was like, that was great. This is Dan's course. The people who bought it, it changed their lives. Justin Goff, it changed how he structured things. Harlan Kilstein,
Wow.
so many people who were just kind of like, but they don't talk about it, and I didn't market it. And then John and I were like, wait, we both have these great courses. Why don't we teach people how to, once they have the skills of copywriting, how to take it to the next level and run a business? Because it's so many copywriters who are constantly running after clients as your family. So this teaches you how to have something much more consistent, how to get the most bang for your buck. And then you have me talk to about how would I do this specifically. And it's a really small group. I have to be honest. There's only a few spots. I'm all in with these people. It's a mentor, honestly, about everything. It is focused on copy, but like you said, it's also business owners who value of writing copy and running their business. So, I mean, I know a lot about strategy, not just copywriting, because I've created so many offers throughout the years. So I know a lot, are in a lot of different people's stuff. That's also because the last 5 years I focused on being a copy chief. I don't know, but I've been doing that more, a copy mentor and a copy chief for the last 5 years, more than taking on clients. What it means is that I have professional copywriters coming to me and showing me what's working in the market now. So for all different industries. So I have I'm in a really unique position right now to not be looking for clients myself as much as seeing what's out there and what's working. So it's It's super cool.
That's so important, what's working, because everybody just
I know.
copies stuff. Stuff that worked 10 years ago, they're still copying. It's like, that doesn't work anymore.
It's things have changed a lot. They really have. I mean, luckily, persuasion stays the same. So once you get those, you get that down, that's never going to leave you. But the way you present things, you know, even the way web pages are laid out, people are, you know, they want things fast. And that doesn't mean that long, because it still does, but you may have to deliver it differently in different chunks, and you want to get their attention with a bang, like, which you got to get their attention with a bang, but it's even more important these days.
Right.
Yeah.
The headline and the lead are more important than ever these days.
They really are. They really are. And I still think that storytelling is huge. And I was actually just watching a video with Jimmy Parent, and being entertaining to like a comedy show. But it's also important. They don't want just dry, long, rambling, get to the point. They want you to have, you know, words that entice them, and it's things. There's a different in 2022 than there was, as you said, like even 3 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
And that's what copywriters are, professionals, and they test copy to see what words and what phrases are working now. And that's what's helping me become a better writer.
Yes, that's it's funny, as you know, when I'm critiquing copy, I even really good copywriters, they do a lot of the same word. Like they'll say, I had an email recently actually that said, I hate, because I do hate this word dream, your dream client, your dream life. It means nothing anymore. You need to actually come up with other ways to say it, because it's so watered down that it has zero meaning. So people just gloss over it and go on to the next sentence. And the next thing you know, they're like, I'm disengaged, I'm bored, I'm gone. So you do yourself a disservice to write copy that's lazy by using words like that, like your dream client, your passionate life, or things like that. You tell me, I mean, show me what a dream life is like. It's like, you know, jumping out of bed, and that's kind of cliche as well, but it's something along those lines. Not just, you know, like show me your dream life, like you're doing the cha-cha all the way to your computer, listening to the ka-chings come through the audio as you make more and more sales. Like, tell me that. I don't want to hear my dream life. So I get really mad about that one. So I see that whenever I see that of my clients or my students. No dream. No, get rid of it.
It's like, stop. That's overused.
It's so overused. And and then what happens is that it has no power. It doesn't have power or connection. They're just, people are always looking to leave your copy. They're like, because right there, I probably can't see that I have 20 windows open right now, but bored, I'm disengaged. What's on Facebook? What's here? What video do I need to watch? And it takes a split second to lose them. So it's today more than ever, the words that you choose are really, really important, and editing them, you know, to, in fact, super important.
And just seeing all these people running ads on Facebook and LinkedIn and Google, the ads aren't working like they used to, because everybody's seeing that. We got to be different.
Needs to be different. And there's also some, you know, the iOS thing that was passed recently, where I guess it was a year ago, where you are allowed to opt out of being tracked. And so now they're taking shots in the dark, a lot of these companies, Facebook and whatnot, as far as what works and what doesn't. So you have to even be more engaging. It has to be more organic. You can't rely on the technology as much as, you know, you have to dig into people's soul, to their personas and personalities, that's what's lasting. That will stay on forever. Not this, like, not gaming the system. That's not going to get you anywhere.
No, it's getting harder
So
and harder to game the system.
Yeah, it is. Totally
You just
is.
get burned.
Totally
You
is.
get suspended or.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, back to the simple writing system. So what we added was, besides the course itself and the building your own copywriting, was once a month, there's an Ask Me Anything call where we get on the call and we just talk about, anything that you need to know about. People have imposter syndrome, they have writer's block, they may have a specific question about a client, whatever, it doesn't matter, bring it. So we do that once a month. They're free to email me as much as they want. Nobody has abused that yet. So that's I like it because it builds our relationship. The more I know about the people that I'm working for or with, kind of for, the better I can help them and support them. So we have that, the monthly videos, the monthly interaction, and then quarterly we have career calls to see, like, how can you get more clients if you want them? How can you get bigger fish if you want them? How can you write your contract? So, and not that I'm a lawyer, but how can you structure it so it gives you the most freedom and the most protection, little things like that. So it's a full-on mentorship from, like, all the way around, just me holding your hand to getting your copy skills up and getting your freelance career off the ground, and any questions that come up along the way.
I think that's
it's
huge
very
that
cool.
you have that monthly check-in too, because I did the thing with John, and at the end of the 6 months or whatever, it's over. And I couldn't get feedback anymore.
Exactly. That's what's kind of cool too, because it goes on at this for a month. I mean, a year, and I think Stan is offered different segments of time depending on what people need. So write to Stan specifically if you want something less. But the thing about a year is, maybe you've done the simple writing system, got that down, and then now you've got a client, and then maybe you get another client. You can start all over again. You can either do the simple writing system again, and I'll be critiquing your copy on that and help you along the way. So you can start that with however many clients you have for as long as you're in the program. So it's, I'm basically like your copy bitch. I'm there for you, whatever you need. And I'll hold your hand and make sure it works out. That's why we're keeping it small, because I only can, have so much time, and I don't want to over promise and not be able to deliver. So that's
why I do these mentorships, just to give another set of eyes on it. We think, oh, this is great. No, this sucks.
Yes, right, exactly. Me too. I mean, I have I'm in 2 different mentorships as well. I think you should always have mentorships going on in your life as entrepreneurs, because things are never fluid, or they're always fluid, rather. They're never static. They're
faster than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So what's this video? This is a session you did with Stan.
Is that what this
simple.
So I did for a month, just sort of like a little taste of what the simple writing system is, where I would give people coaching. And John calls it the Pint of Beer Copywriting Challenge. And it basically is like, if you bar, it sounds like a joke. If you walk into a bar and or your prospect does, and he starts tender, because they're used to hearing people spill their guts about their problems. You're telling the bartender about, oh, my life, I have this problem, and it's now my wife, so like how bad the stakes are. And then the more you can get into that scene, the more you with your prospect, and that they're the things that keep them awake at night, the things that make that really drive them to want to get out of pain. So you really get deep in that. So there's 3 exercises. That's the first one, and they kind of build on each other. The second one is is the so your elevator speech, and then the third one is writing out a full offer. Like what are you going to give these people to get out of their pain? And so there are hundreds of people submitted their answers or their exercises, and I went single one. I don't believe I missed a single one. I did give them feedback, and sometimes they would and forth, which I love when they go back and they're like, oh, let me fix it. And then that's really cool. So these are all, I mean, they're you can read them is what I mean. They're not live. I'm not doing the coaching on right now, but Stan and me dissect the answers that we got. So it's a copywriting training / critique. And I learned so much by watching videos like this. So that's why we wanted to do it, just to let people see what's possible. And sometimes, you know, when you see somebody else get kind of called out, like, oh, you shouldn't have said this or that, or you go like, oh yeah, I do that too. So it's a real learning experience by watching it, and it's less pressure if you're not under the gun, so you can watch it happen to other people. So that's about it. I've gotten great feedback on this video, so it's fun taking the time to watch.
Very cool. I love that too. When you're watching other people's critiques, you learn about, oh yeah, I could try that too.
I know, it's true. You don't have an emotional attachment. It's easier to lesson. Because when it's you, it's like, oh no, I was bad. I did this really sucks, and I suck. And so it takes the pressure off of you, and you can just go like, oh, look, he did that. Oh yeah, I might do that too. Or maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. So it does, it makes it easy to absorb for sure.
Very cool. I've been through the simple writing system, like I said, a few times, and it's great.
You took it more than once? That's so awesome. That really
I
is.
did the mini version. I've done like 3 or 4 versions of it. He has different offers, always changing what you get.
Yes, that's definitely what he does. That's awesome. You know, I've been teaching it since it started, which has been in 2009. It's been 13 years he's had that out, but obviously updating it because things are changing. But it's he's had, you know, the actual system, sort of building blocks of how to write for so long. And it's honestly, I've taken probably all the copywriting courses that there are, and it's the most comprehensive, and especially because you have a live person. A lot of them don't have that. You just have, you know, PDFs or videos, and you don't get the feedback. And that's where the magic really happens, is when you can talk to somebody and you know, go back and forth. Like you said with John, he just had you do it over and over again. Same here. And that's how you get better, much better. It happens a lot faster that way.
Yeah, because you have that deadline. You got to get it done by the end of the course or whatever. And
well, yeah, a little heat, and nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, the mentorship you're offering, the ongoing coaching for a year, that's just awesome.
I'm excited about it. I really, really am. It's been the people that we have already. There's a few people who've already started it, and it's first thing call this week, and I'm super jazzed about it. Just to, you know, interact with people. I love helping people, because when I started out, I didn't get a whole lot of help, and you know, and so I really, the thing to do is to help other people get their copy up to speed. And I'm not as mean as John. I am strict, but I'm not. But I can find positives as well as negatives, and so it's a balance. But you know, that's what it takes.
Well, that's when we were getting started 20 years ago. There wasn't help out there. We had to figure it all out ourselves. So both of us have been kind of figuring this stuff out for almost 20 years.
I know. You're so lucky. There's so much there. There really is. But that's a lot of people will take a copywriting course and they'll be like, oh, I'm a girl, and they'll say, you know, they'll start coaching people, and there's charlatans, honestly. There's
Yeah.
There's no regulation at, so you do have to be careful. Whether you take this course or not, please be careful of some of the people out there who just claim that they know what they're doing and may not really be the best teachers. So this
Right.
has longevity. This has a track record, and there are a ton of, I mean, you could just look at the testimonials. It's helped so many people.
There's so many courses out there that were done 5-10 years ago. They're still showing up in Google search results, and the guys are still selling them, but they aren't
Yes.
relevant anymore. So having a live mentor is the key today.
Friends, it really is, having the live. And like I said, I'm like up to every day doing critiques of what. So it's,
Yeah.
I'm really blessed that way, with like this Shiv Shetty, a Dill, know how many of these names mean anything to other people if they're not copywriters. There's Chris Haddad just interviewed me for his, so
it's like a whole secret society of people you've never heard of, that
that's right.
They're influencing you.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Well, Lorrie, this has been great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anybody has questions for me at all means, write to me go to Red Home and ask me any specific questions about the writing system, or ask me emails.
Yeah.
I really do. So yeah, if there's anything, any way that I can help or be any other kind of, advice, I'm do that.
Oh, thank you so much. I highly recommend this. Go to tedprodromo.com/simple to watch the live recorded critiques, not live critiques. But
it's not, well, right. but yeah, it's definitely worth it. Very educational.
Cool. Thank you so much, and we'll be talking soon.
Thank you so much. I'm dying to read all these comments, but I'll have to wait. Wait and watch the replay.
I don't want to get distracted.